Hello again, this is Gwen Lawrence with part 2 or option 2 for pre-game regeneration or post-game yoga routine. Doesn't matter what sport you play, you're going to benefit from this one. So our first one we did was very back-centric. This one's a little quicker and it is shoulder focused. So if that's bothering you, post-game, pre-game, this is the DVD you're going to want to do. This is a video you're going to want to do. You're going to need a mat. You don't really need any other accessories today except your trusty timer. So most of the poses today, or all the poses today, we're going to do 1 minute. If you feel you got it, you got more time, you can do the whole thing over again 2 or 3 times if you want. So we're going to start getting your timer. Set your feet up, hips to shoulder width apart. We're going to start with a standing forward bend, and we're going to set the timer. Grab opposite elbow and let your head hang. Sway left to right. So the weight of the arms are tractioning and stretching the shoulders, giving our neck a chance to rest. Neck release is vital in opening up the shoulders and also getting some traction in the back and of course opening up the hamstrings. We talked about before, always wanting to breathe in and out through the nose, deep down into the belly to reduce stress and anxiety and shut down that fight or flight response. Shake out your head no and yes. You can gently tap, not bouncing. Just want to make sure I started the timer. I have a feeling that I didn't. So let's just say that's a minute. We're going to reset. 1 minute. Second pose. Fingertips to the ground. Heel toe the feet out. And we're going to come into squat. Okay? I definitely have it timed now. So you're going to go as low as you can as long as your feet are flat on the floor. So we get a little ankle, Achilles tendon, calves, as well as deep hip, back, and opening the heart, getting that chest through. You want to stay supple here, pliable. Some of you are going to look like this. That's fine. Some of you are going to be down here but have to hold on to your mat for dear life. That's fine. In time, you'll release, you'll relax, you'll get lower and deeper. So we're looking for that strength plus flexibility, get that power on the field. Holding and breathing. Do not come out. It's going to be tempting to come out. Do not. Find a way to dig deep and stay. Holding and breathing. Sometimes I'll do the standing forward bend and the squat again. So if you're into that, you could pause this video and repeat the standing forward bend and the squat before you move on to the next pose. Okay, so we're going to come fingertips to the floor. You're going to shake the legs out a little bit and walk it out to downward facing dog. Nice deep shoulder stretch. You can bend the knees, drop the chest through, and straighten. You'll get deeper into the hamstrings that way, Achilles tendon, calves, but also really good chest and shoulders. Let your head hang. A couple times do that. Maybe walk it out in place. Maybe even shaking the tail a little bit, depending on what you need. But move around and explore in these poses. Don't just stay still and static like a statue. You can even push with one arm and push with the other. Building some functional strength here. Holding down dog for 1 minute isn't very easy, but you're going to do it. Okay, gently coming down onto your hands and knees. So the next one we're going to do is dolphin pose. It's really going to play into the shoulders a lot deeper than downward facing dog. You don't have the leverage of the whole length of the arm to play off of, so the truth of the tightness in your shoulder really comes out. You're going to come onto your forearms, measure out the distance because you want to make sure your arms are only shoulder width apart. How do you do that? Onto your hands and knees. Wrap your fingers around your elbows. Pivot the arms out, palms flat. If you have tight shoulders and they tend to sneak, your hands tend to sneak in on you, you can use the L of your pointer and thumb right around a block to hold you in place. Let's set the timer. And you're going to bring it into a down dog, essentially just on the forearms. Okay, so right away I feel it in my shoulders a lot more. If you want to get deeper, sometimes you play this pose with bent knees instead, dropping the head through. If your head touches the floor, that means your arms are in the wrong position. They're too far out. You need to bring the elbows in. Hold and breathe. Keep pushing through the whole forearm, not just the elbow joint. From fingertips, through the palms, wrists, the whole forearms down to the elbows. Notice which side's tighter. Notice if you feel resistance in the back. Push, squeak around. Get the tension out of your neck. Gently tap in the pose. It's lats, it's triceps, it's shoulders. And come on down. Taking a little break. Gonna go into Sphinx pose. So we want the same distance with the arms in Sphinx pose. Onto your belly. Keep the block if you want. But you're going to measure out the elbows by wrapping the fingers around. Pivot, palms flat, fingers spread. Okay, so here you go. If this is tremendously pressurizing your low back, if that's even a term, then maybe you can get away with the elbows a little wider. I prefer you not. I prefer you engage the hips and pull up out of the pose, pull up out of the low back, because you should be able to be pretty comfortable here with a little mild back extension. Take some stress and strain off your shoulders when you're moving in your game. If you can, you straighten the arms. If it's terribly painful in the back, come down. Maybe you test it out. You go for a breath and you say no thank you and you come back down. Or maybe you could hold it there the entire time. Don't sink into your shoulders. Pull your heart through, shoulders back, and again, breathe. Feel, lift out of that low back. Be proud through the head, through the top of your head. This one in the beginning might be super tough, but you're going to really learn to love it and get deep here. It also stretches your abdominals. And come down nice and easy. After a deep back bend like that, we're going to bring the hands back into child's pose. Okay, so knees wide, big toes touch, head rests. Just a chance for nice deep breathing, a release in that low back. We only have one more pose after this. And then slowly onto your hands and knees. And our last pose for this series, shoulder-focused regeneration pre or post-game routine, is our puppy pose. So we start in table, keep the hips right over the knees, walking the hands out. Set the timer 1 minute. This time your elbows are off the ground. So see the difference between this one and child's pose. It's a different angle in your shoulders, chest, side body, lats. Really exaggerate your breath to increase your stretch here. Head should be relaxed. If it doesn't touch the floor, use a towel or a block under your head. I feel itchy stretch in my ribs, my shoulders. And slowly coming out of this one, bring it up into seated. And that one's that. That's a little shorter, shoulder centric. We're still getting other things because we did down dog and some other poses that incorporate a lot of other body parts and joints. It's a great one to do if you're a pitcher, if you're a receiver, if you're a swimmer, if you're a rackets player. Really, really nice regeneration routine after a game if you're feeling really tight after a big workout. Don't forget to check out our other regeneration routines as well, and I will see you next time.